Hello. So I'm going to be doing a little experiment for the month of September. What I'm thinking is instead of charging specifically for the new high newsletter, actually scratch that. Instead of charging for evening equity insights, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and fill this out. As you can see, I've got about what, 20 something, 27 different tickers. I've got the major tickers that I continue to follow, specifically like the major indexes. I've got some of the like emerging markets. I've got the dollar, the bonds, got China, got oil, got gold, got silver, got a little bit of Bitcoin, some of these holdings. Then I'm going to go ahead and look at these main companies in the US. I'll be switching between this tool here. You're going to see me using what is going to be this tool that I've coded. So essentially what I would normally do is go ahead and look just at my evening equity insights. I go ahead and take the very top here for the third, go ahead and paste it here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just at the very beginning, I'm going to show you exactly how I put this all together. I'm actually going to delete all this, do this as a reset, get rid of all this, do it as a reset. And then what I'm going to do is show you where this initial stuff comes from. So one of the reasons, if you have never watched any of my videos, the reasons why I'm actually making a app here specific is because Google Finance, Google itself, kind of sucks for data. So what I did is I got an API, I coded this up, and I took the most important parts of my overall larger piece here, which this is the main actual thing that I generally am using. This is a model that I built. I'm gonna go ahead and take you back to the ticker symbol. You can see I switched for the SPY here. The data should come in, but again, this is the problem with Google data. Google data sucks. The Google Finance, like, what is it? It's like it's not even an API. It's essentially, if you want to see, this is a Google Finance specific thing, you can do it to look at the specific ticker. You can get a certain amount of days, and you can get all the data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I go about filling in the evening equity insights here. First thing I'm going to do is SPY. I'm going to type this in over here, and we're going to look at it just very quickly. I think this is a nice breakdown for folks because I think people actually want to see a high-level model kind of in action. So I'm going to give you one. So we can see the SPY. The concerning thing, if I was going to look at the SPY, is that, and on the left here, I just want to see kind of where it was. So it was essentially flat for the day. I mean, flat for the day at 5 basis points, negative 5 basis points. I mean, could you honestly, like, what are we doing? Did we even trade? Probably we didn't because most of the day was actually based off of just nothingness. Let's go ahead and look at the Qs. Let's do this. What I do like is the most important parts to me are the daily sentiment. The reason why the daily sentiment to me, when I'm looking at the trend, is going to be most important. The reason why that's a concern, and you look at we're down 39 basis points for the day, the reason why that's a concern to me is because when I'm looking, and if I go over here, I'm actually going to go ahead and hold on. Before we do this, we're going to pause on QQQ for a second because I know this is what people are really interested in. I know most people are probably here for NVIDIA, but I don't really care. We're going to go ahead and pull this over. Oh, look, they changed the style of chart. I didn't make this choice. Google did. See, this is the problem with Google. Google just does stuff to your data, even if you don't ask for it. The reason why it's interesting is that we've been down now 5 days in a row on the rolling 5 day return. We're still positive on the 15 days, still positive on the 1 month, still positive on the 3 months, still positive on the 6 month. But we are starting to see some go short signals and some bearishness here. And essentially, I was able to get all of that exact same thing out of looking at this and seeing that we flipped bearish here after we've been bearish and bearish. And I consider to be two in a row a true full flip. So this would have been bearish and bearish. That would have been considered fully bearish. One bullish does not consider to flip it. And now we're back to bearish. That's a concern. I'm going to go ahead and look at the DIA. Go ahead and look at that. We're going to look at both here. I think this is more effective. And if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I'm always interested in like educating folks, trying to get some views, trying to see what resonates. If there's something that you think is cool, you think I should focus on more, please let me know in the comments below. Let's go ahead and post this. If we look, the thing that is just so remarkable is that if you look at the Dow continues to be the strongest actual market out of all the major indexes. Yeah, it was essentially only at 38 basis points for the day, but so what? Still up. You can't really complain on that. So this is where I'm really curious is what is going on with the RSP? Do we think the RSP is showing anything that is even remotely useful? Let's look here. Because RSP being up, that's what I want to see now. I want to see that the overall market is just essentially staying neutral. The reason why is because the market has an upward bias. So if the market is going to go up at all, see, and I like that we got a higher high. Like what is the, so I'm going to do here, we're going to go back in here. So you're getting the full view because if I want to make a video, I want this to be worth your time. Right here, we're looking at the volatility. If you watch my previous videos, this is really important to me. What is volatility doing? Currently, volatility is screaming to the upside. It looks like correlation is starting to go slightly positive. It's hitting the bottom. So it'd be kind of concerning if we start to fall down and correlation goes positive because that means the price would fall pretty slowly, but a bet still down. I do like that the top of the range is higher. I mean, the higher high in the top of the range is pretty cool. If you look on the weekly, the idea that the price is breaking up above the top of the range is actually incredibly bullish. That's ridiculously bullish, especially on a weekly. Let me go ahead and go back because I'm taking too long on RSPs. I mean, showing strength of the overall market. What it shows me is that breadth is probably actually expanding. Now, the reason why I find that to be very useful is because generally I think that you want to see what the market is overall doing. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm realizing right now, is I'm actually just going to show you the indexes. The reason why I want to show you just the indexes, you see these confusing signals? The confusing signal here is the fact that we just went bearish on IWM, but we were bullish on RSP. Now, what that's going to tell you, if you don't know the difference, is that RSP is the equal weighted version of the SPY. And the reason why it's important to see that the SPY is still actually very, very bullish is because it's showing that large cap is popping. And if we want to go back, sorry, I'm just jumping around here. If you want to go here, you see this, you see where it says growth, large cap, and high beta. That, boys and girls, is being driven from, I believe, the daily indicators here. So if we look, we have a comparison between HB and SPLV. That is high beta versus low beta. Right now, high beta is winning. And you know how high beta is winning? Because it's going down. And I know you're going to be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. The reason is because the type of relative strength move that I have, you've got this divided into that. So currently, as we are starting to rise a little bit here off of this bottom, you can see that high beta has come back. High beta has only recently started to come back. We were very much in a low beta mode. Don't talk about Andrew Tate. But if we look now, what we're seeing as well is we're seeing large cap after small cap. So small cap completely took over here. Small cap completely took over for what is this period of time? Looks like the middle of July until the middle of August, small cap essentially took over and large cap is back, boys and girls. I think small cap is definitely something that's interesting longer term, but large cap is the place you want to be right now. And you can see here, we went from value, right? And we have value here in the middle of August, or the middle of July into the middle of August. And now growth is so back. Oh, we are so back. The only problem that I might see is that we're starting to see this dip a little bit below, but we'll find out. So I'm going to go back to IWM. IWM already updated it. Nothing is good in IWM. The thing about small caps, if we're going to be truly honest, is that small caps just do not seem to have the bid. I mean, let's go look at the actual charts. Small caps have had, like, if we look at it on the weekly, I mean, this goes all the way back to 2021. That was the top, 260, 236. We fell from the top on November of 2021. We hit a bottom essentially here in October of 2023. Do you realize how much pain that is? Do you realize how much pain that is if you were, well, actually probably you're watching this because you're probably in the trade, but like it's so much pain. I just can't imagine anything being positive there. So when I look at what I see happening in IWM, it's like, okay, so bearishness is back. If we look at IWO, let's go ahead. Oh, we're already recording. We don't need to record more. There's no need to record more. We're already recording. Let's go to IWO. You know, it's nice too. I don't need a chat. I don't need a chat. As much as I appreciate your potential feedback in the comments below, and I encourage you to please comment, I don't need the chat. The reason why is because I find way too many of those Twitch streamers, what are they doing? Who are they talking to? Talking to a chat, they just stop, they pretend. That's their way of hiding behind the idea of like fair use when they're reading people's articles or watching people's videos. I don't need to do that. You know I don't need to do that? Because I can make my own stuff. I built this whole model completely myself. Now, granted, this is on the shoulders of giants. This is on the shoulders of giants. This is because I've been learning, reading, studying, watching, and paying attention to what's possible. See, look at this. What is this terrible data? What is this? Why is that data like that? That is not data like that. That should be $1. See, this is what I don't like about freaking Google. Sometimes Google just screws stuff up. See, let's move it to the dollar. Now we are so back. I don't know how that happened. But again, Google they change your data for you. But you can see growth here. So we've got small cap growth, which is starting to break out a little bit. Not really. Again, why are we showing these dates? I don't want dates. I don't know what is going on. Google does this sometimes. You can't trust Google, man. I mean, you can as like an overall company. Oh, what happened? Oh, is that, what did I do? What did I do? Is it because of something that I did? Maybe it is something that I did. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe because I hid. Oh, yeah, this has got to be my fault completely. Keep going back. Let's keep going back. Let's keep going back. What happened here? You know what happened? I bet you I hid it. Oh, because I turned this into a date. Guys, what am I doing here? We're going to go ahead and change that into a number, and then it'll change everything else into a number. Go ahead and hide this. That's completely my bad. This is what happens. This is, again, why I don't like Google data, because sometimes Google data just screws things up, and you're like, what happened? But, again, that was my fault. So we're going to go back. Where are we here? We're going to go back. We're looking at IWO. The last one we're going to do for you is IWN. Look at IWN. Let's see here. IWN also flip bearish. It's remarkable what's happening in small caps. Small caps just continue to show that things are like not going well across the general economy. I mean, every single one of the small caps, every single one, all three of them, regular small caps, growth small caps, value small caps, they're all bearish. And then you see QQQ is also bearish. I mean, I don't know what the world thinks is going to happen, but it doesn't seem to be good. We have flipped back bearish. Yeah. Flip back bearish, and you know what's crazy? We are so close to the 20-day moving average. I can't believe it. Like where we are right here. I mean, you're expecting like if you flip positive on growth, which I believe that growth is probably good. Right now, what we're looking at potentially is that we are only what does it say? We are 13 basis points above the 20-day moving average. That is hard to do when you're thinking about how much flow goes into this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go here. We're gonna go back and just look at it because I think if we're being honest about what's happening in the arena of the SPY, QQQs, the DIA, and the small caps and the equal weighted, this is terrifying because we have only out of these we have the SPY, which is granted it is 85 basis points above its 20-day moving average, which again not that bad. It's still flip positive. We're seeing a higher high, which I think is cool. And when you say a higher high, let me explain this because this video is already getting long. But if you're here, why not? If we're going to look at a higher high, what it means at the top of the range is higher than any of the previous 20 days. So that's very positive, right? We've had higher highs going back. This is now the fifth day in a row of higher highs. We do not have higher lows though. That's the concern. This 508.66 is still lower than this 509 that was back here, this 510 that was back here. So what you'll see if I go to this, I'm going to go to the ticker. If we go back over here, you see how quickly I can flow through this because I built this? This is the thing. A lot of people have to use other people's data. I do not. They need to use other people's tools. I do not. I have my own tools because I believe that you need to control your tools because if you don't control your tools, they can be taken away from you. This is the bottom of the range that we keep seeing keep getting lower. This is a representation of what that chart actually is representing in the higher low. So if I go here and we're going to look, this is not going to be accurate necessarily because this is non-sentiment based. But you can see this is 508, 507, 507, 509. See, because we were going 507, 508, 509, 510, 510, 59, 58. Now we're back at 504. The reason why is the volatility. This volatility here from the 1st down to the 5th, back up here to the 22nd, that's a crazy amount of range with nothing really happening. But the thing that I do like is that the top of the range is higher than it's ever been. If we look at it on the weekly, the top of the range is higher than it's ever been, and we could go all the way up to 579. Now, we could go all the way down to 488. That's quite a concern. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Are you long? Are you short? Do you like it? Do you love it? Is this even a good review? And if you're so inclined, feel free to buy the Evening Equity Insights. I give the rest of this list, all of this, plus the sectors. I give it for $15 a month. You get it every single night. I don't give you any additional commentary. I'll give you that. But you do get the notes of what I get as I'm going through it. Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'll talk to you soon.